All right, Raiders fans, buckle up because we have a lot to unpack today regarding the Las Vegas Raiders and the quarterback situation that has everyone talking. The news that Tua Tagovailoa has officially been benched by the Miami Dolphins has sent shockwaves across the league, and naturally, questions are arising about whether the Raiders should consider bringing him in. While some people are very vocal about the idea of Las Vegas pursuing Tua, I have to be honest, I do not buy into him as a solution for this team, and the Raiders would be making a huge mistake if they try to trade for him. Looking back at recent history, the team has made several high-profile moves at quarterback, bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo, then Carson Wentz, and most recently Geno Smith. Each of these signings came with the hope of finding stability under center, and yet here we are, with the same conversation happening again. Trading for Tua would simply repeat the same pattern and distract from the real need, developing a young quarterback from within or selecting the right one through the draft. The Dolphins' decision to bench Tua and turn to a new starter in Quinn highlights what many insiders have observed for years. While Tua has had moments of competence, there's always been a ceiling to his ability, particularly when compared to elite quarterbacks in the league. Teams that pay enormous sums to a quarterback without the assurance that he can elevate the roster are often left in a tricky situation, and that's exactly where Miami finds itself. When a player like Tua is earning $50 million a year, the expectation is that he not only performs at a high level, but also lifts the performance of the players around him. The reality is, even with a talented supporting cast, Tua has struggled to carry a team consistently. This is the cautionary tale the Raiders need to consider before making any impulsive decisions. Now, turning to the current situation in Las Vegas, Geno Smith's status has been a topic of debate. Some reports suggest that he could remain with the Raiders long-term, and when asked, he affirmed his commitment to winning games here. While his answer may have seemed casual or even slightly annoyed, it does signal a level of stability that the team can work with. The key, however, is ensuring that he has the right support system, both in terms of coaching and roster construction. Geno has shown he can succeed in the past when surrounded by good coaches and a structured offensive system. Unlike Tua, he doesn't demand a massive salary, which means the Raiders still have room to build around him, adding key pieces to the offensive line and other impact positions. The strategic approach here should be cautious and deliberate. Keep Geno as the starting quarterback while developing a rookie behind him, allowing the team to grow and adjust without putting too much pressure on a young player who may not yet be ready for the big stage. When evaluating the Raiders' options moving forward, the draft becomes crucial. If they have the first overall pick, they can aim for a top-tier quarterback prospect, but anything lower on the board requires careful consideration. Do you reach for a quarterback who may not be the best in the class, or do you address immediate roster needs with a defensive end, offensive tackle, or a top wide receiver? The choices made here will define the team's trajectory for years to come. History has shown that drafting a quarterback with the right supporting cast is far more effective than trading for a high-priced veteran who may not be a long-term solution. Consider how teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills built their successes around well-coached systems and complementary players, not just a single superstar quarterback. Speaking of coaching, the question of Pete Carroll's future in Las Vegas is gaining traction. After a rough season with a record of 2-12, it's clear that changes may be necessary. The team expected a challenging year due to roster deficiencies, but even with those challenges, the lack of competitiveness has been noticeable. Finding a high-energy, first-time head coach could provide the spark needed for the Raiders to reset and build toward a sustainable future. Hiring someone with a fresh perspective and offensive-minded approach is essential in today's NFL, where offensive production and play calling often outweigh purely defensive impact. The example of teams succeeding despite losing key defensive players highlights this point. A strong quarterback, supported by a smart offensive coordinator and a well-structured system, can carry a team further than relying solely on defensive dominance. Additionally, the Raiders' recent roster moves indicate that management is exploring depth and upside rather than making blockbuster acquisitions. Veterans like defensive tackle Lei Foto may be moving on, seeking opportunities with teams that are playoff-bound, which underscores the difficulty the Raiders face in attracting experienced players given the current state of the roster. Building through the draft becomes not just preferable, but necessary. The reality of the NFL is that winning a Super Bowl requires drafting well, developing talent, and strategically complementing that talent with veterans who can elevate the team when needed. Even players who haven't reached superstar status can make a meaningful difference when integrated properly into a competitive roster. Looking at broader NFL trends, it's evident that teams are placing increasing value on offensive systems and quarterback development. We've seen players like Myles Garrett dominate on defense, but even extraordinary individual performances rarely carry a team to consistent success without complementary offensive play. Meanwhile, teams with backup quarterbacks have still reached the playoffs due to superior coaching and system implementation, proving that the offensive coordinator and play caller play a critical role in team success. For the Raiders, this means focusing not just on the quarterback position, but also on hiring a coach who can maximize offensive efficiency, develop talent, and strategically position the team for sustained improvement over multiple seasons. The approach should be measured, draft smart, develop young talent, and make calculated moves in both coaching and roster construction to ensure the Raiders are competitive in the long term without falling into the trap of chasing short-term fixes that have not worked in the past. Continuing with the Raiders situation, the challenges they face are both immediate and long-term, and navigating them successfully requires a careful balance of patience, strategy, and smart decision-making. One of the biggest hurdles is the development of a franchise quarterback, and it's clear that Las Vegas cannot afford to make impulsive decisions like chasing a veteran who may not fit into the team's future plans. Instead, the focus should be on using draft capital wisely, scouting talent meticulously, and committing to a quarterback development plan that allows the young player to grow without undue pressure. This is exactly what successful franchises have done, blending rookie development with veteran guidance and carefully constructed offensive schemes. The Raiders have seen firsthand that relying on expensive free agent quarterbacks or short-term trades rarely leads to sustainable success, and history has proven that developing talent internally almost always yields better results over the long haul. The coaching decision is another critical piece of the puzzle. Whether or not Pete Carroll remains at the helm, it's evident that the Raiders need a coach who can fully implement an offensive system that fits the personnel, particularly the quarterback. Offensive-minded coaches who understand modern NFL schemes and can adjust to the evolving league are invaluable. Teams that hire high-energy, first-time head coaches often benefit from fresh ideas and innovative approaches, and that could be exactly what the Raiders need. The examples of other franchises illustrate the importance of timing and planning. Bringing in a coach at the right moment, paired with the right young quarterback, can transform a team from a perennial underperformer to a playoff contender in just a few seasons. It's not simply about replacing a coach or a player. It's about creating a cohesive structure where coaching, strategy, and player development align seamlessly. When it comes to the roster, the Raiders are at crossroads. The reality is that attracting top-tier veteran talent is a challenge when the team has struggled, and this makes drafting and developing players even more critical. Every selection in the draft must be strategic, considering both immediate impact and long-term growth. Positions like offensive line, pass rush, and wide receiver need careful attention, because these players not only fill gaps, but also provide support that can make or break a quarterback's performance. The loss of players like Lei Foto underscores the difficulty of retaining experienced contributors, particularly when playoff opportunities are limited. However, these departures also open the door for younger talent to step up, gain experience, and become foundational pieces for the team's future. In a league where veteran free agents are selective, the ability to identify and cultivate young players becomes the Raiders' most valuable asset. Strategically, the Raiders also need to consider the value of draft positioning. If they secure a top pick, the decision to invest in a quarterback becomes more straightforward. However, if they fall lower in the order, the calculation becomes more complex. It's a question of whether to reach for a quarterback who may not be elite or to select a player at a different position who can provide immediate improvement. Defensive ends, offensive tackles, and elite wide receivers can transform a team in ways that a struggling quarterback cannot immediately match. This is where disciplined evaluation and front office foresight come into play. Every move must be weighed against the team's overall vision. Are they building for the next season, or are they constructing a framework that will sustain competitiveness for years to come? Impulsive trades or high-price signings often undermine long-term goals, and the Raiders' history shows that repeated short-term fixes rarely produce meaningful results. Another key element is understanding the importance of scheme and system in maximizing player potential. A quarterback's performance is deeply influenced by the coaching staff, offensive philosophy, and surrounding personnel. Teams like the San Francisco 49ers, despite losing multiple starting players, managed to remain competitive through a combination of solid coaching and adaptable offensive systems. This proves that even talented individuals cannot carry a team alone. Success is the product of integrated strategy, preparation, and execution. For the Raiders, this means prioritizing the hiring of coaches who can deliver this type of system, while simultaneously developing a quarterback in an environment that emphasizes growth and learning over immediate results. The rookie quarterback must be given time to adapt to the NFL, study the game, and work closely with coaches without being forced into high-pressure situations prematurely. Financial strategy also plays a crucial role in the team's trajectory. Paying exorbitant sums to a quarterback who is unproven or has demonstrated limitations is a mistake that has set other franchises back. The Raiders must balance investment in their quarterback with the ability to strengthen surrounding positions. Smart cap management ensures that there are resources available to address critical needs, create depth, and surround the quarterback with the tools necessary for success. Paying attention to the balance between veteran leadership, rookie development, and salary cap flexibility is what separates teams that can maintain competitiveness from those that struggle to climb out of mediocrity. Looking ahead, the Raiders' path requires a careful combination of patience, calculated risk, and strategic foresight. They must resist the temptation to chase high-profile quarterbacks on short-term deals, focus on building a sustainable foundation through the draft, and hire a coaching staff capable of maximizing player potential. The interplay between quarterback development, roster construction, and offensive scheming will determine whether Las Vegas can rise from its current struggles and become a true contender. While immediate wins are appealing, the long-term vision must prioritize stability, growth, and the creation of a system that can consistently produce results season after season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events that has already sent shockwaves through the NFL, whispers around the league suggest that Russell Wilson has officially parted ways with the New York Giants and is set to ink a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources close to the quarterback hint that this move could redefine the trajectory of both franchises, though details remain closely guarded. While the Giants were once hopeful that Wilson's presence could stabilize their offense, insiders indicate that the relationship between the veteran quarterback and the organization may have reached a breaking point, leading to an unexpected separation. The Raiders, always on the lookout for a transformative presence under center, are reportedly confident that Wilson's arrival could inject a new energy into their offense. Analysts speculate that his leadership, coupled with a strong supporting cast, might make Las Vegas a serious contender in the coming seasons. The potential signing has sparked heated debate among fans and commentators alike, with many questioning how Wilson's playing style will mesh with the Raiders' current system. Some see a perfect fit, envisioning high-octane drives and dynamic playmaking, while others worry about whether Wilson's mobility and offensive preferences align with the team's existing schemes. While official confirmation is still pending, the rumor mill is already running wild with speculation about the implications of this move. Could this be the shot in the arm the Raiders need to finally return to playoff prominence? Or will the adjustment period prove too disruptive for a team that has struggled with consistency in recent years? Meanwhile, the Giants are reportedly exploring multiple avenues to fill the void, sparking further chatter about potential trade options and free agent targets. One thing is certain. If these rumors hold any truth, the NFL landscape is poised for a dramatic shift. Wilson's decision to leave New York, a city known for its intense media scrutiny and high expectations, for the bright lights of Las Vegas, could mark a new chapter in his career and potentially rewrite the fortunes of a team eager to make a statement on the national stage. Fans are already imagining the possibilities, debating the fit, and waiting with bated breath for what could be one of the most talked-about quarterback moves in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.